Thank you for joining me today for Christine's Coffee Talk, episode 1. I am a little bit nervous because this podcast is brand new. It's my first ever episode, and today I wanted to discuss self-love. I wanted to talk about it because right now I'm on a journey of self-love, and I feel like it's relevant, and it's 2022, baby, and I am looking forward to what this year has to offer me, everyone around me, even you. So grab your nice hot cup of coffee and let's get into discussing self-love. Self-love has always been a very big topic, and it's always thrown out there in quotes and, little posts, little memes, self-love, self-love. And I just started to realize that self-love is truly all about you. I feel like in this day and time, people get so misinformed that you have to be in a relationship in order to be more self-loving. And that is totally not true. Some women think, or some men think, that by being in a relationship, you start to love yourself because another person's loving you. And that's totally such a sad reality to things that I personally been in a situation where I thought I needed to be in a relationship in order to truly love myself. And over the last few years, few weeks, few months, I really started to put into perspective that I needed to love myself. So when I was going through a really hard time of not feeling worthy of living, not worthy of love, not worthy of being seen, not being worthy of being heard, I made a wall of inspiration. And it says, the wall of inspiration of becoming the best version of Christine. Now, I made this podcast because I feel as though I might be helpful to some people my age or even older. I don't know who's listening to this, and I feel as though I'm on a very big path to self-love and discovering who I am as a person, discovering what I have to offer to the table. And I feel by me making this wall of the inspiration of becoming the best version of Christine, I put down some of my favorite books, and I put like little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things to say, okay, I learned this from the book about self-love. There's a book, it's called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And it talks a lot about, you being in charge of your own faith, you taking charge, you taking responsibility for your own life, sharpening the saw, thinking to win, seek first to then to be understood. And it's such a first things first, being with the end in mind, being proactive in your life. And throughout life, you're always going to have people around you saying things, doing things that aren't in your value and altering your value. And it's so important to have that strong stability to say, I know who I am as a person. I love myself. And I'm not going to listen to what you're saying that I should be doing because I know what I want as a person. And it's amazing to see that self-love is I don't find people take it so serious. I think self-love is such a serious thing because you shouldn't be living in other people's shadows. I personally know the feeling of living in other people's shadows and constantly not knowing who I am, always have to be validated by people. And it's a very, how do I say this? It's a very, you feel like you lost yourself, like you never found yourself. And I don't want to live life always following what other people want from me. I want to know enough that I am strong, I am in charge of my life, and I'm going to love myself, and I'm going to self-improve in order to get where I want to be. Self-love is so many different forms. It's taking care of yourself, working out, different little things that you do, doing things that you want to do, taking a bath. Self-care is a really big thing for me. I'm all about getting eyebrows done. I love looking my best, but as of lately, I kind of let myself go. I'm not gonna lie, because of the whole, I want to take responsibility, but it's a very depressing time in life, is because of the whole COVID-19 like fiasco. Some things are closed, but I live in Ontario, so it's a lot different than other places I can just imagine. But it's a really, self-love is such a big, it's a very big topic where I don't even know where to start. Like, there's so many things that I want to talk about. Self-care, self-improvement, loving yourself. Like, there's so many. One of the big things that I live by is life is all about creating yourself. And creating yourself, you become to realize how much you are valued in life. You say, I am worth this. I am worth that. Seeing you for who you want to be, if that makes any fucking sense. It's so healthy. It's a healthy feeling knowing that you love yourself. It's healthy knowing you're going into a relationship and seeing, hey, I don't like this. I don't like the way you treat me. I deserve better. And standing up for yourself and saying those things. It's very, very important. Or else you'll be going through life like a ghost and saying, whatever. I like the feeling of getting up every day knowing that I have a purpose. Having a purpose in life and having a drive to do the things that you want to do, and saying, I love myself enough to get out of bed today and take a shower. That's self-care. It's self-love. Forgiving yourself. Putting yourself first. Giving yourself room to heal. Self-improvement is such a big thing for me. Self-improvement, self-improvement, self-improvement. Like, seriously, self-improvement. Finding ways to self-improve constantly, always, every single day. I used to hate when people used to tell me things like, oh, like, you need to work on this. Like, criticism. I always hated criticism because I always felt like I was being attacked. But as I grew older, I loved criticism because it started to make me realize, okay, this person sees this, so maybe I should look into that and see where I can tweak myself. It depends on the topic. It depends on everything. If someone's saying, oh, I don't like the way that you do this, this, and this, it's like, okay, I'll take that in with a grain of salt. I'll reflect, and then I'll get back to you. Reflecting on yourself, reflecting on things that people say, it's healthy, not just being stubborn saying, no, that's not true, that's not true. It's very healthy to reflect. It's really healthy to take criticism with, a little bit of emphasis on certain things. Another good thing is to constantly always be willing and ready to change. It's like realizing that self-love, it's like in a situation of relationships where you don't hold on because deep down, it's like being guilty. Don't feel guilty for letting go of people. You let go of some toxic shit because you loved yourself enough to say, hey, I'm tired of this shit and I'm gonna bounce, basically. I'm kind of going through something like that where I have to, it's like, I don't know if anyone believes in soulmates, twin flames, anything like that. I take a lot of it with a grain of salt, but I believe your gut intuition tells you things, and it's like, holy fuck, like, it's about growing as a person and listening to your gut feeling as well. Like, in relationships, it's really hard when you truly love someone, but you also have to know when to put your foot down and say, I deserve respect. I deserve this, this, and this. If that person can't say, okay, I see what you're saying. I apologize. They take responsibility for certain things. It's so important to have that because it does alter your self-love, your self-respect when someone else doesn't respect you. But you have to learn to respect yourself enough to say, okay, I've given all that I could. I can't do anymore because it's really affecting myself. It's really affecting my love for myself. It's really affecting a lot of things about myself. And that's when you have to walk away. And it's so hard because I've been in situations where it's really hard. But it's making me a stronger person. You will look back on the situation and be like, holy shit, I love myself more for letting go of that piece of shit. And you just can't take what other people do to you so harsh, because it's a reflection back on themselves. That's what I believe. And self-love is becoming, you become more comfortable with the bad days. Loving yourself stops you from seeking approval from other people. Self-love makes it easier to communicate with others. Like, I can't stress that enough. I actually have the picture that I wrote when I was going through a really, really hard time, and it says 10 reasons why self-love is the best and most important type of love. And I look at it and I really I feel like I'm getting the grips of self-love. Not every day. Like it says, be comfortable with the bad days. Not every day I'm going to look in the mirror and be like, God damn, she's a badass bitch. This, and that. No. But it's enough to say, okay, I'm having a bad day. It's like self-recognition. It's like saying to yourself, okay, I'm having a bad day. I need to take meditation. Another good fucking form of helping yourself truly go in with yourself and say, I deserve love. I deserve love. I deserve love. They have a couple books. It's all about meditation. And there's one, it's like, I deserve love. I deserve happiness. I deserve peace. And it's like, you deserve love. You deserve happiness. You deserve peace. And it's such a beautiful meditation or an affirmation to tell yourself when you're having a very bad day. And I try my best to say that to myself when I'm going through a really bad time, or I'm just not feeling it that particular day. And I say that to myself. And I try so hard to stay positive. Another really good thing is that when you're having a really bad day, is just to take a time out. Taking a time out, taking a hot bath, painting your nails, doing something for yourself. That's self-love. Is knowing and recognizing when you need time for yourself and when to walk away from a situation. It's so crucial. It's so crucial. It's like you have to just take a step back and just say, I'm just having a bad day. I need to do this, and this to make myself feel a little bit better. And yeah, I feel like it always helps just to take a breather when you're having a bad moment in time. I truly, truly do. Self-improvement is a very big thing for me. I've learned a lot since June. I've been really, really realizing myself, really getting into myself and seeing where I need to change as a person in order to attract better things in my life, to truly get where I want to be, stay optimistic, to stay positive, to stay with an open mindset, to stay with the positive and not the negative. I think everybody gets down on themselves so much, and it's just so important to have strategies in order to cope with that. Self-improvement, it's like reading a book and saying, aha, that makes sense. I'm going to try my best to do this, and this. I read a book. It is called, what's it called? No Excuses by Brian Tracy, I believe. And in the book, in the first 2 chapters, he talks about taking responsibility for your actions. That is a very big self-improvement right there, is taking responsibility for where you are in your life right now. Taking responsibility for looking around. He uses a very, very good thing in his book where it makes me it's so crazy that he says he remembers himself sitting in his room and looking around him, and it said, this is my reality. I can only get myself to a certain place. Nobody else is going to hold my hand through life. It's up to me to make good decisions in life and to move onward and say, okay, I've learned this, and this. I'm going to put it towards, my bigger outcome. That's why I think self-improvement is so fucking important in the whole category of self-love. It's one of the biggest things for me is self-improvement. Constantly sharpening that saw, constantly finding new ways to live a better and healthier life. It's so important. And by even getting a Kindle and just downloading some self-improvement books, starting off like that. I have a hard time reading books, but as of lately, I've been like on the downput of books. Like I'm reading so many books to try and help myself through a situation, reflecting back on myself, journaling, listening to meditations, listening to podcasts. And that's why I wanted to resort to a podcast, because I feel as though, yeah, I might sound like I'm all over the place, but if I can help one person realize that they aren't alone in this world, then fuck that, I did my due diligence. I feel full. I love helping people. That's who I am. I like watching people flourish and grow. I love, watering other people's plants because it makes me feel a certain way. Like, it makes me proud as a person to say, wow, by me just giving a little bit of information, I was able to help this person. That's what makes me feel fulfilled, is watching other people self-improve themselves, because everyone has the potential to grow and flourish and become a beautiful, beautiful soul in this world. And you will get lost on the way. It's not always going to be a straight path. You're going to have lots of bumps and freaking crashes and everything else. It's like you in your passenger seat driving, and someone told me recently, it's like if you keep looking at the past of everything you've done wrong, when you're driving your car and you're driving it by looking in the rear view mirror, you're not going to get anywhere in life. I'm the type of person that I dwelled on my past quite a bit. And by me putting myself in a situation to self-improve, I try so hard to say, do not look at the past. You are not broken because of your past. You are just in a state of mind where you're feeling self-pity about yourself, and just you got to start driving your car looking straight, not in the rearview mirror, looking straight ahead, and just driving your fucking car and trying your best to navigate your way through those freaking craters. It's so, self-improvement is such a good topic. I love it. It makes me feel so full. It gives me hope for the future. That, so many people have written books about self-improvement. So many people have told their stories. And by me doing this podcast, like I said, I hope that by me telling stories and me showing you that I've realized things about my life, that I can at least, be relevant to someone. I'm a hopeless romantic. I love love. I always put love above myself, and that's something that I really need to put behind me and say, I love myself enough not to let this man take advantage of me, not to let my friends take advantage of me, not to do this, and this, and this. Some people can't help it. They're very loving people, but I also find that sometimes by being too loving, you find people that take advantage of you. I've gotten taken advantage of. I've watched someone close by me always being taken advantage of. But I find that you can't tell anyone anything, because it's their own way. It's their own choice to realize that. And it's so hard for me just to sit back and watch someone being taken advantage of. I hate it. I don't like it. I like people being strong. I love strong people. I love when I see someone, really realize. I love watching people realize shit. It makes me feel so good. Even my own self. I love realizing shit. It's like a light bulb. It's like a bunch of light bulbs going off. It's like, aha. It's like an aha moment. I love it. And I think this is a wrap for the first podcast. I think I talked a lot, and I hope I got my point across. I hope you took some of the things that I said. And by the way, I will link some of the books down below that really made me realize some shit. And yeah, I'm so excited for this podcast to flourish and grow into my little baby, and I'm so excited for this journey and to see what happens along the way. And I'm sorry, I'm the type of person where I like to ramble. I'm a rambler. I should have been a therapist. I'm actually, my biggest goal in life is to be a nurse. And I really want to be a nurse. I've always wanted to be a nurse. And it's a big self-improvement. You're going to learn, you're going to meet lots of mean people in the healthcare fields. But I'm just so excited, guys. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for tuning in the first episode of Coffee Talks with Christine. I am so thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Be optimistic, love yourself, read a fucking book, stay connected like Ariana Grande says, and we will talk soon. Take care.